Okay, what we're going to talk about here today or this weekend is version 17 of the basket trader. Market is closed, so I can't show you anything on a live trade or on a live chart. So we're just going to have to do it on a static chart here, and hopefully it'll work come Sunday night when the market opens. Haven't thoroughly tested these changes yet, but there's only a couple of them. They're pretty minor, so hopefully we'll be okay. Okay, this is what the version 17 looks like. It looks exactly like version 16. You don't see many changes. The only difference is these colors here, and we'll explain those in a little while. You get some sky blue colors here. Main changes, there's a couple of them added into the settings folder. We'll get over there. Now, one thing I want to make clear here is in this version, build 610, you can now get to the properties window without stopping the robot. Now, you don't want to do that. Do not do it that way. This can cause problems because the robot's running over here in his own little loop, and he may not be paying attention to what you're doing over here. So don't do it this way. Best thing is to do, get out of this, is to stop the robot. Now it says robot is stopped. Now he'll pay attention to what's going on over here. So we're going to go back to properties. Now we'll open it up, and here are the changes we've made. They're down here in miscellaneous. Remember before we only had one enable link choice. Now you got two. One is for enabling the indicator link, which enables the link from your indicators on your chart, your three indicators, over here to these settings. That's for that. And this one is for the basket pairs. It links these basket pairs, or I should say the basket pairs that the chart was created with, over to here. So when you load the EA onto a chart and you got this link turned on, it will look for that text file that the basket creator created over in the files menu. It will look for that, and it will load in the proper pairs that match to this basket down here. And then of course you've got the restore trade settings, which was there before. Now these all correspond to colors over here. If you turn off the restore trade settings, this will change back to orange. It's blue, light blue like this when the link is turned on. Same way with the indicator link. You notice these are light blue. If I were to turn this to false, these would go back to orange. And same way with the basket link. See, it's set to true. Pairs is sky blue. This will go back to orange if I set this to false. This way it tells you over here, by looking at these colors, what these settings are, which comes in handy sometime. Now remember, to start the robot back up, you always have to click OK over here. Even if you don't make any changes, you still have to click OK. If you just click cancel, he's not going to start up. See, he's still not running. So you always got to click OK. Brings him back alive. Now, like I said, the basket create, go over here to open data folder. And you look under files, you'll see this, the basket create created this. And you notice that matches the name of the chart down here. And that's what the EA will look for when you got this link turned on for the pairs here. It will look for this text file. And there you notice same pairs that are down here, because the basket created that. It says these are the pairs I'm using to create this offline chart. So if you turn that off, of course, it's not going to load these in over here. Then you'll have to go back to the manual way you did it before, putting in whatever you want. But you always want these to match anyway what your chart is. You don't want it to be different. But that's basically where that is. Okay, that takes care of the settings. Remember, the only thing that got changed in the settings. Now, one other thing that got changed is over here concerning the breakout channel. Remember, before you click on the breakout channel, this would only work before on a live chart. Well, not a live chart, a non-live chart. Sorry about that. This would only work on a chart where you were not had an active trade open, so you could place these on the screen. And if the candle closed above it, would take a long trade. If the candle closed below it, would take a short trade. Now that has been changed, so you can add these to a live chart if you want. If you want to put these on a live chart, you can. Also, the take profit and stop loss have changed. You see, now I can add those to a chart that is not live, or I should say you don't have an open trade on, where before you couldn't put those on a chart before the trade actually went live. So now, breakout, take profit, stop loss, you can put them on a live chart when the trade's open, or you can put them on a chart that has no live trade at the present time. So they'll work either on either type of chart. So you could place them there. And one other thing that got changed with the breakout channel is now you click it again, the second click, you notice it changes to pending order. It also changes down here, it's called pending order. What that means now is you can use these kind of like a pending order line. You can put them on the chart, and whenever the price action, which is the gray line, touches or equals that line, it will trigger a trade. It doesn't have to wait for it to close above it anymore. So you can use it for that. But just remember that these wicks do not count as price action, because price never really gets into that wick. You have to remember it's the body. Whenever the body of the candle touches that line, it will take a long trade. Or if it touches this line, it'll take a short trade. And as in the past, if you don't want to use both of them, just delete one of them, turn it off. And if you don't want to use any of them, or you want to get out of there, you just click it again, and everything goes back to normal. Now you're back to your Hass and IXO using those. So this is just a toggle. Regular breakout channel, pending order. So the only difference, like I said, between the breakout channel and the pending order is breakout channel, candle has to close above it, candle has to close below it. Pending order, it doesn't have to, as long as this gray line touches this line. Like right, if you got them two like that, if it touched it, it would take a short trade. That's the only difference, so that's been added. And they can also all be used now, along with the take profit and stop loss. These can all be added either on a chart that has no live trade on it, or a chart that does have a live trade on it. It doesn't matter either way. But one thing to be careful is when you're putting these on here, moving these things around, make sure start live trading is turned off if you're not in the middle of a live trade. Otherwise, you could accidentally trigger a trade. If you're in the middle of a live trade, you're going to have to be careful too, because then if you move in some place where there shouldn't be, your take profit or stop loss, it could kick you out of the trade. So the lines are put far enough away initially, so they shouldn't be in the price action, so you should have time to move. And of course, just like before, if you don't want any of this stuff on there, just click it and it all goes away. So I believe that about covers it for this. Those few changes, like I said, I haven't had a time to test these. Usually I like to test some of this stuff for a whole week on a live chart. It's time to take some trades and see how they work out in case there are some little bugs stuck in like they usually do. So we'll be careful with it for a while until you make sure it does work the way it's supposed to. So that about does it. We'll post this on the first page. And probably start looking into version 18, I suppose, which probably be some more changes. We don't want to get too many additions to get too confusing, but everybody give it a try and post your results and let us know how it works for you, and hopefully everybody will make a few pips.